Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Numenera WUBRG campaign season 1, run with the gold player. I'm dungeon mastering, and at this point, Blackout has agreed to find secret convergence agents within the city of Steadfast for the Order of Truth, and his ally Ponce, who is an Eon priest. So at this point, basically the clever Jack, who moves like a cat, Blackout, begins his investigation in the city. Okay, and he natural 20s it, and he actually finds 2 convergence agents. Right, he finds Olyvi, who is the daughter of a very wealthy, steadfast merchant, who is a secret convergence agent, and then Elrian. And Elrian is a ciphermonger in the city, right? So so I said, okay, now you found, the person that you're going to hunt. And are you going to check in with Ponce and say, hey? And at this point, Blackout is staying. He's actually he's given access to specifically to the to all of the facilities of the Eon priests. So, he doesn't have many shins. He came in from the wastelands, right? And so the Eon priests have embraced him and are keeping him. They have shrines and libraries and cipher shops all over the town. And he's allowed to essentially sleep in, anywhere he wishes. And so most of the time he's been spending his time in the libraries, right? And, continuing to study ciphers, right? So he does this investigation. And at this point, he has his mark, right? He has his secret agent, but he also has an extra one. And I was like, okay, so what are you going to do with that extra one? Are you going to keep that in your back pocket to use for kind of leverage, or not so much leverage in that he has goodwill with the Eon priests, but keep something in his pocket that he can kind of show his usefulness later? And he's like, no, I don't want these convergence agents to be dangerous. I'm going to tell them about Elrian, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to tell them about both of them, but tell them I'm pursuing Olyvi. I'll go find them. You guys can put any agent you want on Elrian, right? And so he does this. And then at that point, I was like, okay, now you're going to go hunt this convergence agent to either capture or kill them, right? And I didn't ask him which, because, no reason to put him against the wall. Like, he's going to make that decision when he gets to her, right? So at this point, I said, okay, so now at this point, you have a strong enough relationship with Ponce that he could go with you, or you could even get a strike team of Order of Truth Eon priest to go with you. And he's like, no, I want to do this myself, right? And one of the reasons why is he's still learning about the Eon priests, and they are an unusual group, right? They're not technically good, right? But they're also not evil. They're really in that neutral zone, right? So he's still kind of making it on his own. So he decides to go to see Olyvi by himself. So he goes out in the city and he starts to see what the city is. So first of all, the city has streets, right? But mostly people just walk the streets, and there really aren't any carts or anything. There are these rivers of light, right? Where you would normally have streets. I said, within Steadfast, there are these rivers of light. And there are these barges that float on the rivers of light, right? And then just like you would see in Venice, right? So that's the structure, right? So we established that structure. He goes on this light barge and reaches Olyvi's home, right? And actually, Olyvi is the daughter of this incredibly wealthy merchant. So he gets there as this huge, highly secured conglomerate of, it's like 2 skyscrapers, right? And so 2 large buildings, completely fenced in. And the fence is like these massive, like straight, thin walls of steel, right? And then there are breaks in the wall of steel, but you can tell there's like a monofilament mesh, very dangerous, right? And the only place, and you can't go into this courtyard of their their home. You have to go to this main gate, right? And so he scouts the entire area to determine the best way in, right? And that's where I'm going to cut it off. So thank you for letting me share with you the tale of the Numenera WUBRG campaign season 1. Every single word you heard in this video is my humble opinion, nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.